Well, hello and welcome back. Today is the wonderful Mr. Miro's birthday. He is 3 years old today, aren't you? Are you 3 years old today? So, this has been my best friend, my gorgeous little creature for the last 3 years. And I hope you have like another 300 years together. You've been so wonderful. Isn't he handsome? Isn't he, when he looks at you? Today we're going to do some more inky drawings, and today we're going to be drawing a little bit more of worry lips, just to kind of keep the flow going. And what's up? Why are you so shy? Why don't you look at everybody today? Oh, you don't want to look at everybody today. So let's do some drawing. You're so cute. Well, hello and welcome back. I have just spent half an hour talking to a camera that did not work. So I just did a drawing. And you'll see the speed version up there somewhere. But it did not save the drawing. Oh, I do hate that. I hate that so much. I've been talking to you about lots of fun things and you weren't even there. There's two cameras here, and sometimes it just does not switch on. I don't understand what it goes, why it does that. I just don't understand. But anyway, it was a lovely drawing of Norman and Wonder Woman, actually. And well, you'll have to go onto YouTube and see the speed version, or on TikTok, something like that. I might even post it on Instagram. It was the whole thing was that it's actually Mr. Miro's birthday today, and which I might have said on the intro. He is 3 years old today, and I am so happy I got Mr. Miro. He has become such a little darling in my life. You know, I really didn't really think, even at the beginning, I wasn't really sure, was I doing the right thing getting a dog? Oh my God, you know. But yes, I was really doing the right thing. Mr. Miro has become such an amazing pleasure in my life. He is the sunshine. He is the sunshine when there is no sunshine. He is the constant companion. He is absolutely superb. I could not have wished for a more amazing little creature to share my life. So a very happy birthday to him. 3 years. Incredible. 3 years. Where did 3 years go to? Really, it has just exploded, you know. 3 years gone so fast. And I was saying a very big thank you also to all the people that do support the channel, that do give me a PayPal tip, a little support of some sort. It buys my ink, it buys my paper, and I love all of the people that help me out. Oh, I love everybody anyway, but I love you for your support. I love you very much. You know, I am trying to be a natural artist. I'm trying to be somebody who wakes up and draws, and I'm trying not to be, you know, dancing around in my bikini or something and setting my head on fire to gain interest. I'm basically trying to be somebody who just draws for interest. If you like my drawings, watch the channel. And it's very, very, very hard these days to maintain such a goal. It's very, very difficult in today's kind of marketing and fast pace. You know, it's like everybody wants something fast and dramatic and exciting, and well, you know, sometimes with art you just gotta slow down. So I do appreciate all of the support from everybody, and there are some amazing people out there that make this channel possible. And it is that support from you that makes me keep going, that keeps me strong when times get very, very, very tough. And sometimes times do get very tough, as any artist will find that even when things get good, they're usually short-lived, unless you're very lucky that you have a massive selling, very kind of very popular book or illustration or whatever the project is you're working on. If you're lucky enough to get something that becomes popular for whatever reason, and you never know. These days you just never know. You never know when something is just going to be exploding with excitement. You know, I've worked on so many animation projects, so many TV cartoons, and so many movies, and you think, oh my God, this is the best thing that I've ever worked on ever, and you never see it again. People don't like it. It's not popular. It doesn't hit that popularity, whatever it is, that kind of magic. And it's sometimes very, very difficult. And art is the same way. You know, you just don't know what. You know, I've put out my books. I put out quite regular. I put out my books. I put out the Brainiest Combustibles, which was recently. I put out the Worry Lips collection recently. So I do a lot of work, but it really comes down to who buys the books. And you know, without massive marketing, it's very difficult to kind of even get it seen sometimes. You know, there's some of these big marketing companies that, you know, when a new book comes out, and it's everywhere. You know, you just can't escape it. But for the little people like me, it's very difficult to get your book seen. It's very difficult to get it in front of the people that need it to be in front of, you know. But we keep trying, we keep moving, we keep the excitement going. I mean, I also don't really understand much of the marketing, to be very honest. For example, like with the YouTube channel, I get something in the region of about 20 to 25,000 every month coming to watch the channel, but I only get 25 likes on the channel, and a lot of that percentage of that 25,000 come back every single month. I don't understand. If you're coming back every month to watch more, surely there's something in there that you liked, something in there that maybe you could play the game and leave a comment or something, you know, because that's what YouTube likes. They like you to see that there's some kind of interaction between you and the fans, as it were, and that's how they kind of monitor. And you know, there's a few of people that I've contacted and talked with, and it's very difficult to be a real person and to get monetized. And the monetization part is actually a very painful subject for a lot of people, because you know, if I was to do pranks on people and dance around in a bikini or something, I might get more following. You know, set my head on fire, paint my beard a different color every week, some kind of, I don't know, some kind of idiot solution. Things would be easier probably, you know. But if you're a real artist and you're trying to be taken serious, it can be very, very difficult. And I also find that, like, even the people that I do follow, it's like, you know, if at the moment Kylie Minogue is on tour somewhere, and it's all over my feed. I don't think I've ever seen a Kylie Minogue video in my life, but she's popular at the moment. She's hot at the moment, and it's everywhere. So if you're not hot and popular, how do you get seen? You know. But I have a great following at the moment, and I'm very, very pleased with my following. And I'm very pleased with a lot of very kind people, obviously, that do support me and do make sure that there is ink in the well, as it were. And now ink is like a little tub of ink like this. Tiny little thing is like £30. And, you know, Talon's ink, if you're out there, I use this all the time. Please send me about 5,000 litres of Talon's ink and I'll draw forever. Yes. And the amount of ink that I go through is absolutely ridiculous, really. I go through gallons of ink. Or if you're an ink company, then you make Indian ink. Send me a sample and I will test out your ink free of charge. You see, even with the inks that I do like, I do kind of adjust the consistency to what I like. I don't like a lot of the inks. I do kind of adjust. Some are too thick, some are too wet, some are whatever. So I do kind of adjust them a little bit just to kind of get them working the way I like them to be working. But so far, I think I'm really quite like the Talons one. Though they're getting expensive, you know. And when you're using a lot of it, sometimes you need to think for an alternative, you know, a cheaper alternative. But by your donations to the channel, it helps. It really does help. So today we are drawing Norman in the park with this strange old crow in the tree. And the strange old crow is giving him advice. He gets a lot of advice in this book. Everybody's got a point of view. And it is kind of like that in life. It is kind of like, you know, if somebody says, "Hey, how was your day?" and you say, "Oh, I've had a bit of a rough day, actually." Oh, what happened? Oh, this happened and that happened. Oh, you know what you need to do? You know, they love to. Everybody's got have an opinion about sorting your life out. Not sorting theirs out, but sorting yours out. I always find this quite funny, especially I have my artistic life and people who have nothing to do with the arts just giving me advice on it. It's quite entertaining. Now, if it's another artist and they're saying, "Oh, you know what I do," that's kind of like a different thing. But it's like me giving advice to a plumber or something, you know. And that's Norman sitting in the park, and this crow appears above him. And there's a lot of magical things attached to crows, and I've kind of been taught over the year with my very kind of superstitious family, my very superstitious grandfather and stuff like that. That would kind of I have picked up a lot of their ridiculous habits, and if I do see a crow in the park, I will say, "Good morning, Mr. Crow," and I will always wish him a good day and stuff like that. And if I see a magpie, I will wait for another magpie to come along so that I don't see a singular magpie. I'm kind of going a little bit nutsy on that side of things, but so Norman is approached by this crow, and he does say hello to the crow, of course. But what does the crow say back? Hmm. And I do think this book, the book number 2, is much better than book 1. Well, maybe not. Well, I shouldn't really say it's better, but I feel like my writing has got better. I feel my writing process has got better. My way of writing has got better. Or maybe I was more planned. I'm not quite sure which, but I do feel this it's a much better written book. And I'm very pleased with it. I must say I'm very pleased with how the story has panned out. And also the fact of bringing Zoe back into the story is quite important. It has been important. And it was the part of towards the end of book 1 that I did begin to find very difficult of how to bring her back, and also the dilemma that if I did bring Zoe back, would it ruin the kind of ghost story that it had become, and I do feel like now it has panned out to be a rather beautiful twist. And I'm very pleased with the way that it's worked out. I'm very pleased with the fact that I can keep a lot of the elements that made the story interesting for me. And that was really important, but very difficult. Very difficult. Very difficult. And it can be very difficult once you're trying to write a story. It's kind of like having a kite or something. You're in control, but only up to a point. It's like it's being pulled and twisted in every direction, and you're trying to write the story this way, but it's pulling itself in that direction, and it's quite a beautiful process. Very beautiful process. And the nice part is that I get to illustrate it as also that I can kind of visualize it in my mind in a written form, and then I can go in and draw up all the elements of the story that interested me, which is really beautiful. I mean, not many people get that luxury. You know, a lot of the writers need to find an illustrator, and I have the absolute luck that I can do them myself. And I think that kind of adds a lot of personality to the whole book, the fact that I'm in control of both. And I think that in that way I've really had a nice control of Norman. I'm very, very pleased with having the control of Norman. It has been a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful element of being in control of everything about the book. That's quite nice. It's a nice pose. And that is Norman sitting in the park, and he is talking with this crow. The crow is a lovely symbol in this book, as are the elements of the park. The park is something that has become a very kind of magical place for him in this story. It has become this other part of his life that is different to the ghosts at home, and it has become a very nice kind of escape for him almost. Lovely. And there's today's drawing. Today's drawing is Norman in the park. Now, I do understand that this will be a painted. It'll be painted in shades of grey. So there will be another version of this. This is just the line drawing. So this is the line drawing version, but you will see another version very soon. And I do think that kind of adds to the whole pleasure of it, that you get to see different versions of the drawings. Lovely. So, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for watching the drawing, and do stick around to see what other illustrations are being done this week. There's quite a few more drawings to be done for Worry Lips this week, and come and see them here. And I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye bye.